Today, the town of Hempstead is proud to announce its support for two important pieces of legislation that will benefit animal welfare, hold abusers accountable, and further incentivize pet adoptions. Time and time again, we have seen abusers repeat their heinous acts against defenseless animals. As elected officials, it is our duty to respond with stronger laws and more onerous fines. While the abuse of an animal can never be undone, we can support measures that will benefit animal welfare overall. And that is what we're doing here today. The bills have been introduced in Albany by New York State Assembly Minority Leader Ed Ra, a dedicated animal advocate and community leader.
It is a great thing to have the opportunity to bring an animal into your life, make them part of your family. These two bills are designed really to, yes, incentivize people to do that, but also make sure that those that are out there, shelters, rescues, can have resources that they may need when there's unfortunately a difficult situation. Every now and again, we see one of these situations, and they're far too often, where there's some type of hoarding situation or overcrowding situation, and there's a dozen cats, animals, dogs in a house that have been abused, malnourished. And thankfully, there are rescues out there and there are shelters out there that will go and take in these animals. But obviously that comes at a cost, both the direct cost of feeding and caring for those animals, but also trying to heal them from that trauma. This is simple. It would take money from those offenders and make it available to help offset those costs so that when you have one of those situations, a shelter or a rescue is that much more likely to say, hey, yeah, we'll take on the burden of trying to get those animals back into good health, get them to the point that they're able to be adopted. The other one is pretty simple. I think in a state where we're overtaxed, I don't think anybody would argue that point. Any little bit helps. And at a time when costs are through the roof, it's just a simple tax credit to incentivize people to bring an animal into their home. Just that little bit of incentive that maybe offsets some of their costs of, veterinary care, food, whatever they need to take care of that animal in their life. So I think these are pretty common sense bills. I'm thankful to have the support of Supervisor Ferretti. As he mentioned earlier, he's been working on animal issues, not just in his leadership now of the town of Hempstead and this shelter, but also in his prior role in the county legislature. He's been a leader on these issues for many years, and I thank him for his support of these. And I hope that any of my colleagues in Albany would come together and help support these pieces of legislation so that we could promote pet adoption and we can help protect our animals.
Animal rights and protecting the animals that are in our homes is so important. We're giving a voice to the voiceless. I am proud to work with Assembly Minority Leader Ed Ra on the legislation he just spoke about. I carry the tax credit bill in the Senate, and it is so important because our shelters are filled with animals that are just dying to have that forever home. We are lucky to have volunteers that come in every day, and I thank the people that work here at the Town of Hempstead Shelter to make sure these animals are cared for in very desperate situations. And if we give everybody a little incentive to please come and adopt one of those animals by giving them a small tax credit, it's the least we can do for taking an animal who needs that forever home. And I do support the other legislation that Senator Palumbo carries and I'm a co-sponsor on that says that if we are prosecuting people that are abusing animals, take a little bit of that money and give it back to a shelter like the Town of Hempstead Shelter that is, in fact, caring for these animals that have been abused. It's the least we can do.
We want to be very clear and send a very strong message in the town of Hempstead. Animal abusers are losers, and that's why we're holding them accountable. We will have them pay for their crimes, and those payments will be going right back to our shelters if this bill passes and helping animals.